What up, everybody? It's been a minute. It's your boy E. Sutton, and I'm talking about my top 10 small forwards. I'm going to give you two tonight, maybe three. I'm going to go ahead and give you two. Number 10, I was putting this particular player at number 10, but I had to only because of injuries. Grant Hill is my number 10 small forward of all time. And I put him at 10, like I said, because of injuries. But when Grant Hill was healthy, I would take him over Scottie Pippen. It was just point blank, period. Because when he was with Detroit, Grant Hill was all they had. And he can give you 25, 6, 7. He can stuff the stat sheet for you. Deep had a nice mid-range game. Could get to the bucket with the best of them. Great first step. And if you got in the way, he'd baptize you. He'd dunk on you. Ask Alonzo Mourning. And the beautiful thing about Grant Hill, he wasn't an emotional player. He didn't wear it on his sleeve like a lot of players do nowadays, even back then. So Grant Hill, one thing I can say about Grant Hill, throughout the 90s, I couldn't stand the Duke Blue Devils. And it was for one reason only. One and a half. Bobby Hurley and Christian Laettner. Christian Laettner stepped on a dude's chest and did not get thrown out. And that made me look like, really? You can do that at Duke? They bring in my man Grant Hill. And they needed Grant Hill because his freshman year, they played UNLV, who was undefeated. And he was that athlete that they needed to match up with Stacey Augmon, Larry Johnson, Greg Anthony, Anderson Hunt, and those boys. First play of the game, they win the tip. Grant Hill goes and gets a layup, and it's like game on. So Grant Hill's my number 10 guy. Number 9, I'm going to take y'all back to 86 like I did with the power forwards. What can the weapons do for King? Well, I can do just about anything. Bernard King. Bernard King's what I like to call a professional scorer. He can get buckets from anywhere on the court. I mean, Bernard King was outstanding. Mid-range game, phenomenal. Had a nice body. What I mean by that, 6'5", 6'6", about 230, 240. Put his butt on you, and what nothing you can do. Mid-range, bucket, back you down, post, bucket. Bernard King was outstanding. Tore his knee up. When he came back from the knee injury, it was ACL, I believe, reconstructive surgery. I remember showing things of the rehab process. He came back and averaged 30 when he got back. That's the King. We see, and Melo, I always say this, Melo reminds me of Bernard King. And y'all always say, well, Melo stops the ball. Okay, I mean, Bernard King wasn't always, move the ball, this, that, and the other. Get Bernard King the ball to a sweet spot. He was a mid-range guy. Get him to a sweet spot. He'll make you pay. And I know y'all probably thinking, well, Melo don't fell off, man. I still believe if you put Melo in the right system, he can still give you 20 to 25 every night. I don't think he'll do that in Houston this coming up season, but that's for another day because of the way they play. It's not going to be a lot of slow down isolation basketball in Houston. But Bernard King's my number 9 power forward. Number 8, we call him the human highlight film. Dominique Wilkins. The human highlight film. We're on YouTube, so if you view this, and I'll be going to Instagram after this to talk about it, and hopefully people will check this out and YouTube Dominique Wilkins. A lot of stuff he did in the dunk contest were not as good as what he did in the game at sometimes. I mean, good grief. Neek could get it. Wasn't a great three-point shooter. Anything like that. Solid mid-range game. He was great off the wing. He could shoot it off the glass and things of that nature. I'll never forget 88. I think it was 88, 87, 88. The back and forth between him and Larry Bird, who I'll be mentioning later throughout these couple of sessions that I'm going to have here. But Neek could go. Very few people miss their shots on accident, not intentionally, and go back and get it and dunk it with authority. Neek did that. Neek had everybody trying to wear Reebok pumps around here. Tore his Achilles. Came back, averaged 25. Dominique had his own hairline, hair care products, Pro Neek, because he had the hot top fade and he had some chemicals, and they weren't juices and berries, but it was Neek. And I was watching Magic and Isaiah did a little thing for NBA TV. He was a part of that crew that would hang out and work out together. Neek, Mark Aguirre, Isaiah, Herb Williams, who would have thunk it. But, and yes, I said thunk it on purpose. But Dominique Wilkins is my number 8 guy. I'm going to give you guys 7, 6, and 5 tomorrow. And hopefully you enjoy it. Once again, I'll be going to Instagram after I go and have my supper. If you don't know, today's my 1-month anniversary. I'll be bringing that up on Instagram shortly too. But she's getting her hair teased or something. But she'll see this because it's gonna go when I finish. It'll. So y'all stay woke.